Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Today we're going to be reviewing Balenciaga's Spring Summer 2023 fashion show, the one in the mud. Yay. Now, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. First and foremost, push that join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today, gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob all spelled together for extra perks. Thank you to my members and patrons who have already pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream every Saturday. You're all invited to join the live chats every Saturday. It's free and it's a lot of fun, darling. So I have my co-chatters here, but we're going to start the show first, and then we're going to queue in the chats right after. But I'll be reading the chats as we review the show. The video of the show is taken from the Balenciaga YouTube channel. It falls under fair use because we will be reviewing the show. However, I took some generic copyright-free music to layer on top of the fashion show because their music is copywritten. So just bear that in mind. This is not Balenciaga's music. Let's review the mud. Yay! Yay! Yay is in there as well. Kanye is going to open the show. Anyway, spoiler alert. Oh, and then there's going to be an Easter egg in the show as well, by the way. And I'm wearing my merch, by the way. Not Balenciaga. Okay, here we are in the mud. So I wonder if Kanye West, when I first saw this, I was like, wait, is he wearing like a bulletproof vest because he is walking in the mud surrounded by all these Oompa Loompas, right? Then, you know, he's like, what if these bitches want to shoot me or something? So I'm thinking, actually, you don't get to see the outfit because he has a bulletproof vest on top of the outfit. And he's like, whatever. You know what? Whatever. I'll just wear a bulletproof vest and you don't have to see the outfit. What is it? On Mars? Asks Nina. So, okay. So now you see, all right, there you go. Now, actually, this also looks like, no, I don't want to say. But anyway, it looked like somebody, but you're gonna see that somebody again towards the middle of the show. Easter egg moment. So this kind of walking with the mouth open like that and the angry, you know, that kind of whole vibe, like cute. Okay, this guy has been trained. Those legs are muscly and shaved for the gods. But this whole look of kind of the Hunchback of Notre Dame and this kind of antisocial posture and behavior, like he's been doing it for several seasons now. Is it still effective after all this time? I mean, no, not really, but that's kind of his shtick. That's Demna for Balenciaga. Oh, right, outfits, clothes. Well, there's not much to say about it, except darkness, post-apocalyptic or during apocalypse moment. Oh, a little bit of color, touch of yellow, cute. Hoodies and shorts. Now listen, don't, you know, come for me for saying, oh my god, whatever, Dacob, you're like so old school, whatever. No, I'm saying it's fine to do something that's also like this. However, oversized jacket, okay, there's a little bit more tailoring that goes into it, so it's gonna cost more because this does cost actually to make it. These patterns are new for Balenciaga standards. But when it comes to hoodies like this and shorts, you cannot expect, and I'm like, okay, fine, do them, you know, but then don't charge $800, $1,000 for them. Charge $30 for them. Charge $50 for them. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, if you can't just expect over and over and over again the audience to accept every time you produce a hoodie and you expect $1,000 for it. No, sorry, boo. No, if you're gonna, what would be revolutionary is to have this hoodie on the runway and then only charge $40 for it. That's revolutionary. Instead, no, you're gonna charge, you know, a pretty penny for it. So that's where I find it lame, you know. Anyway, all of these like silicone babies that these guys are wearing, it's like, he's like saying like, this is the future. We're gonna live in this dystopian landscape. We're gonna carry our babies while we struggle to survive. This is an interesting bag, actually. The glove is incorporated into the bag. So you kind of, your arm goes through the bag into the glove and then you can put stuff in it or not. Sculptural piece, but not very well. Another silicone baby. I wonder if it's one of those babies that they make, you know, like you can order little aliens and they're like all like wobbly because they're all made out of silicone. I wonder if that baby is like that too. Okay, this scarf is so useless, but I mean, I guess editorial. Another silicone baby. So maybe they're real babies. Hey, everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, just my opinion, not rooted in any facts or truths. Everything is just alleged. The scarf won't keep you very warm, but it does look like pig sperm or pig penises or something. You know that they're very twirly. Have you ever seen one? Google it. Okay, so, a little Vivienne Westwood moment, a little Vivienne meets Mugler. Okay, well actually, this kind of, you know, bodice, this is very Vivienne. And very Mugler. But also what is very Vivienne. You know, I've been reading the comment. Oh, here's another one of those bags with the glove going through them. The fist bag. People have been commenting on Twitter after the show. Oh, you know, a lot of people are upset. Oh, this is so boring. It's so bad. It's so bad. And then some people say, oh my God, it's revolutionary. And then some people are saying, there's nothing revolutionary about it, except maybe the fact that he made it all about mud. Well, then I had to pitch in my 5 cents and I said, hold on, you guys. No. Demna using mud for a collection or inspiring the whole collection around mud has already been done, darling, by our Dame Vivienne Westwood. I have her little perfume here. Vivienne did in 1982 an entire collection called Nostalgia of Mud. All surrounding mud. She actually opened a whole Nostalgia of Mud store with entire continents of the world made out of mud hung in front of the store. You would enter the store and there would be mud inside the store and a witch's kind of brew moment. Everything was very esoteric and there was mud everywhere. So this is not new as a concept. Mud in fashion, honey, it's been done decades ago. It's a pity that the children today don't really know this, but then again, you can Google. You have the freedom of internet today. Okay, Miss Thing is scared that she's going to slip on the mud, so she's walking very carefully, while the other one is like, honey, let me show you how I do mud. Let me show you how I do the mud, okay? Now is this? No, not yet. Okay, but I was like, almost like, hold on. So again, these bags seem to be very popular. We're not gonna buy these bags. It's a novelty. Bye! I love the stiffness of it. Only Demna does that for his shows. Now, maybe while I was blabbering, I missed the chip moment, but one of the models is wearing a Lay's chips bag, and that's another topic for another video, so be sure to stay tuned for that, because we are going to discuss the chip bag. Yeah, you best believe we're going to discuss it, because I have a couple of things to say about that. Now, this is kind of an elegant moment. Look at her. She's almost like Medea. She's like serving up maybe more Lucia di Lammermoor, but also a little bit Medea. Maria Callas moment, right? And then we got the glitter chic with a little bit less mystique than we would expect. Okay, I love she's taking her time. She's like, oh honey, this runway, mud or no mud, it's Balenciaga, bitch. I'm gonna spend my time. I'm going to walk very slowly and suck it all in. Okay, she is she's giving me Paris Hilton at Versace vibes, the way she's walking. But the smile is missing. She's missing the smile. Yeah, okay, we get it. And look how they styled these bags, the fist bags, always to be worn on the side of the audience, because they really want to make a statement with those bags. I'm like, we get it. After you saw them 10 times, you don't have to repeat it again. A little deconstructive moment. Cute. A little Yohji Yamamoto. Ah, there he is. You asked yourself what Paul was doing after we did our videos together, how to pronounce French brands. Well, now you know what Paul is doing. He's walking the Balenciaga show. Congrats, Paul! Woo! So then moving on to the next one. Also a little deconstructive moment here. And those glasses, I mean, whatever, what can I tell ya? Lame. Lame and everything that goes with it. This is, I mean, you could make it out of expensive materials, but this is usually something you can find in really cheap fabric stores, and you could make this yourself. Kind of cute for photography, but it isn't the best of material to work with. Oh yeah, this is another Westwood moment, but very Y2K. So also Demna is not immune to the Y2K movement, is he? Is he? Johnny's asking, who's gonna buy those clothes? Oh honey, the kids are already lining up. They are lining up. We should not trash every show, says Margot. And we won't, Margot. That's interesting that you say that, Margot. So you think that I only review shows because I want to trash them? You're very mistaken. These oversized jackets have been done way too often by Balenciaga, by the way. So, but you know, these proportions are still in, I suppose. So as I said, he's not running away from Y2K. He's not immune to it either. Although this oversized situation going on here is something that, well, Moschino has already done several years ago as well. Classic piece, fluffy, velvety jacket. White outfit, black little bag. The thing is, what? I love the pink dress, the pink bag. I don't know what that, if I read that, I don't know what that means. No, you don't do that. No, you don't do that. So, anyway, I'm not wasting my time on that. So, green hair, punk moment. Also have seen that before. Now, when it comes to all over black, it's really difficult if you're gonna set full black outfits on a black muddy background with very low dimmed lights where there's very little visible. Now it's a statement, you can do that, and you have a little bit of pop of colors here and there, like the red hair here, the blue shoes, we had the yellow sneakers before. You can definitely do that in the hopes that then the photography that you took of the pieces to then show later on to your clients, that is then effective enough to sell the pieces. But on its own, if you're just gonna go on the runway with all the colors, you don't get to see the darker pieces. And I'm saying this because most of the pieces are very dark. There are exceptions, but notice, even the pieces that are not black, like we have the reds, the yellows, the greens, they're also muddy and they're also dark. So what does this mean? This means that actually, even though this is a red on the red carpet, even though this is a red piece on the muddy background, it still has that brown black subtone to the red. So there's always darkness from within. So this apocalyptic view or vision of the world or future reference or a dystopian reference of the world is something that Demna has delivered already. Now, and that is all good and fine. You can so do this as much as you want, but my question is this. Is this Demna or is this Balenciaga? And how much is this Balenciaga actually? What is left of Balenciaga? And how much did Demna appropriate that logo just to be himself? And this arises the question of, well, how much is a designer that is hired to represent a heritage brand, how much are they allowed to actually push themselves forward and kind of push in the background the actual brand and the heritage of the brand? Now, Demna did release a statement that was also completely, I mean, the comments on Twitter, the statement about this fashion show, people ripped that statement to bits. And I found the most funny and interesting comment was somebody redid his entire statement and just changed it with blah, 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 blah. And I commented on that and I said, you know what? Actually, that would have been a much more coherent commentary on this entire show if Demna literally just kind of made a mockery of it and released a statement with only blah, 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 and then signed a Demna. I commented, well, that would have been actually much more effective and powerful as a statement than actually explaining dystopia and this and that. And I'm like, girl, if the show doesn't speak for itself, you don't have to speak for it, you know. Now, when it comes to glasses, this is something that I've noticed with the sunglasses. Several brands do it. Mugler does it as well. Balmain does it, but Balenciaga pushes it to the extreme. These kind of wasp-like, you know, glasses that are curved upwards, that create this insectoid type of look. This is, again, nothing new. This is something that has been done. There's a chip bag. There's the chip bag. Notice how it's turned inside out. So you see the silver popping outwards. That's going to come in handy when I do the review of the chip bag coming up in another video. But back to what I was saying here. Yeah, if I get interrupted like that, then I forget. I lose my train of thought. So that's not good. So, I forgot. All right, let's just move on. I'll remember later. Glitter. Glitter is something that, you know, hey, at least these don't seem to be paillettes or sequins attached to the garment, but a little bit simplified glitter, which means it's not going to cost too much. But Pret-a-Porter has this tendency of overdoing sequins. These are sequins though, so this thing is going to cost a pretty penny, even though it looks super simple. Now, the person, there you go, this person behind classic Balenciaga moment. These are the biker bags, the Balenciaga biker bags that actually Nicolas Ghesquière brought back decades ago. Now Nicolas Ghesquière is at Louis Vuitton Women. But so this kind of butcher, I'm gonna kill you and eat you moment with the, you know, the whole kind of like that situation is supposed to be made out of all those infamous Balenciaga bags. And this is closing the show with the flashing lights. Oh, that what I was saying before, the sunglasses. Oliver Goldsmith was the first to actually do those glasses during the space age time. So in the late 60s, early 70s, all those insectoid, twirled upwards, curved around the face glasses, it's nothing new, you guys. That's all been done in the 60s and 70s. So, you know, sorry, hate to break it to you, Madonna. I know Madonna's a huge fan of them, and she's kind of, you know, trying to look like here's one for Jesus, trying to look like Arca and what, Earth Eater. So that was that. Now the funny thing about, okay, yeah, I'll let the chat scroll through. Now the funny thing about this show, and the cool thing about the show, is that Paul was in the show. Now, Paul and I did the How to Pronounce French Brands. We also did How to Pronounce Balenciaga together, and now he's in the Balenciaga show. But of course, Paul is a model, so he's also been in Lanvin and all other brands. But what is so funny is that Vivienne Westwood did a collection, an entire collection entitled Nostalgia of Mud in 1982. Groundbreaking collection. That, coincidentally, Nostalgia of Mud was the collection in which her, back then called buffalo hats, but they're now called the mountain hats, were first featured. The buffalo hat / mountain hat is what Pharrell started wearing several years back, and he kind of made it popular again. And a lot of people, to a point where, and this is really sad and breaks my heart, a lot of people, when they would see the mountain hats in Vivienne Westwood boutiques, young people would go in and say, oh, why is Vivienne copying Pharrell? And this is what I mean with fashion. You gotta know your history. I don't care how young or old you are. If you're gonna comment on fashion, you better know your history, because otherwise you're gonna embarrass yourself. Seriously. And especially when it comes to situations like these where maybe you've never seen something like this before and you say, oh my God, this is so groundbreaking. You got internet, boo. You can literally, at the tip of your fingers, you can research everything for free if you have access to internet, obviously. And when you do that and you do your research, you're going to notice if something really is done for the first time or if it's been around for decades. bear that in mind. Bear that in mind. Coco, Cyber Coco, Vivian has always been the one. Oh, praise the Viv with her boudoir perfume and all. Chucky Shoes UK thought that was Lady Gaga. Oh, the hunchback at the end? Could have been. Yay, Dacob. Long live Arca. There you go, Lorenzo. Vivian has always been underrated, says Smurfette. Ollie says, am I alone in my disinterest of Balenciaga? I just don't get it. You're not alone. You're not alone, but it is a phenomenon. And Ollie, so me analyzing fashion and fashion culture in general, it is really important when a brand, through Demna, and Demna could have just stuck to vêtements. He could have stuck to making his DHL t-shirts from years ago. But no, he moved on. He evolved. He got a better position. He's super popular. And Balenciaga, under his direction, struck a chord. And this is where, sure, private citizen consumer can say, I don't care for what they do, or I care for what they do. I personally don't care for what he's doing at Balenciaga, but what do I care for? The cultural phenomenon that he started. The fact that there's so much interest and buzz around him. You could have said a couple of years back, it's just fashion. But he's kept going. How long is this going to last? I don't know. But as long as it lasts, I'm interested by not the clothes, but I'm interested to understand why this type of fashion and this type of marketing, brand marketing, this type of aesthetic appeals to a huge, broader amount of masses. And there's something to be said about not necessarily the fact, okay, whatever. So nothing what he did was original in this show. That's basically my bottom line. Nothing he did in this show is original. Even the chip bag, we're going to do a whole video on the freaking chip bag because it's going to be hilarious. Hilarious. If I dug out some information on the chip bag, you're going to laugh a lot when you... But anyway, pardon me. Everything... So it's not the objects that he's showcasing, it's how destructive and end of world, end of times everything looks like, which I think really clicks and resonates, especially in this post-pandemic era, or, well, is it post-pandemic or is it still pandemic? But there's still this kind of, everything is bad, everything is over, life is miserable. There's this attitude towards everything at the moment. Even music is very aggressive at the moment. Younger music is very, very aggressive. Fashion is becoming really aggressive. Attitudes on the street are really aggressive. It's almost like more and more of a survival type of battle, the form of creative expression nowadays. And within that context, you take the big brands out there. By big brands, I mean luxury brands, or not top tier luxury brands, but luxury. Balenciaga to me is not a top tier luxury brand. It's luxury. Their haute couture is luxury. Their pret-a-porter is kind of a Gucci type of luxury, price-wise. But you see, while Gucci, it's an interesting example, while Gucci represents this sort of escapism with Alessandro Michele towards kind of a vision of the 70s, of a hippie vibe, but in the future, these kids, very Italian, by the way, of course he is Italian, so obviously, he's very limited in his vision when it comes to expanding borders. He has this vision of Italy locked up in itself, always thinking they're ahead of the times when they're not. Renaissance has come and passed, my dears, a long time ago. And since the Renaissance, Italy has not budged a millimeter. They have their moments, but che ci vuoi fare? But anyway, so you have this escapism that Gucci delivers with colorful, chirpy, Harry Styles moments, la-di-da. But it worked 6 years ago, 7 years ago. It made Gucci really huge. Now it's already becoming dull because we got the anti-movement, which is Balenciaga representing this asocial, everything is, I'm so done with it, but then make it luxury. So somebody had to profit off of it. He jumped on that bandwagon in time, on time and is profiting from it. So he struck a chord with the times just because he plugged into the times at the right time with the right concept. Not an original concept, but it's just like the stars aligned for him and for the brand together with him. What I want to say with this is, had he become artistic director at any other brand, but within this same time, we would have seen the same effect. So you see, this is why I'm asking myself, is this even Balenciaga? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if this is Balenciaga or not. If Demna did this sort of fashion at Balmain, at Givenchy, it would have been the same. It would have had the same effect. We would be now watching, if Demna did this show for Givenchy, we would be watching a muddy runway with the same models, with the same clothes, the same exact designs, that would just have Givenchy label on them instead of Balenciaga. This is what I'm getting at. So it's not anymore about the heritage of this brand, what it stands for, where it comes from, the originators of the brand, what they did for it, how hard they worked to establish themselves. No, it's not about that at all. It's about whatever a platform they left behind them that somebody new can now use and abuse, in some cases, to showcase his own stuff or her own stuff, and they're allowed to do it as long as the brand keeps making money. Now, since, as I said, this Baby 305, yes, God, he's the designer for the herd mentality. I want to be a part of customer design. Right, and this is the thing. Seriously, you guys, he could have been at Givenchy, and he could have done this exact same collection. Exact same runway, exact same lighting. Kanye would have opened the show exactly the same, and it would have worked anyway. It would just have a Givenchy logo on it instead of Balenciaga. Let that sink in. And then let's initiate once we've acknowledged that, and once we are free of this constant fanboying, fangirling. Oh my God, this is amazing. This has never been done before. I love it. How dare you speak bad about it. That's what brand marketing wants you to do. They want us, the consumers, to fight with each other, to fangirl or fanboy out for these brands. What for? These brands don't give a hoot and toot about you if you live or die. They just want your money. And they're really happy if you start a social media battle for them for free. Don't do that. Instead, be clever. Realize that it doesn't matter if this is Balenciaga or Givenchy or Lanvin or any other brand, really, for that matter. If Demna did it, he could have done it with any other label on it, and it would have still struck the chords of the time. Now, Demna 15, 20 years ago, or Demna 10 years from now, is not going to work. It's just not. He's very time specific in his whole approach to aesthetics and to politics and to the world. Just like Riccardo Tisci. So glad he left Givenchy. I never liked him at Givenchy, but when Riccardo Tisci was at Givenchy, Givenchy was the coolest, hippest French brand out there. Now it's so cringe. What he did, when you look back at it now, it looks so dated in the worst way possible. The same is going to happen to Balenciaga under Demna. Just you wait a couple of years and then we can talk. Y'all, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. This is an interesting conversation. Obviously, you could be like totally pro or contra. I'm very direct and I just say it like it is. You don't have to agree with me, obviously. But at least hear me out, And anyway, Camilla's Footprints. I like your point of view. I love your videos because I learn a lot with you, Dacob. You are so smart. Thank you so much, Camilla. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Cyber Coco. I feel the same way about Givenchy. And never give up on love. Subscribe.